Unlock your imagination with Audible. When you listen to audio content, your mind is free to paint the scenes and feel the emotions of a great story. Plus, a great narrator can really take things to the next level. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Audible's extensive catalog is sure to have titles you'll enjoy. Immerse yourself in captivating tales, learn from world-renowned experts, and discover new perspectives, all while multitasking or relaxing. Right now, I'm listening to our friend Elena Urquhart's The Butcher Game. It's a sequel. It's fantastic. It's a serial killer cat and mouse. I absolutely love her. I love what she's done, and it's really cool and very beautifully told on the Audible version.
And as an Audible member, you choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog.
New members can try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
This time of year is busy. Family obligations, holiday parties, travel. Relaxation might fall to the bottom of your priority list.
You guys, you need to take time to relax, and you need to be somewhere where there's soft white sand, healing crystal blue water, cloudless skies. We know where that place is.
Aruba. Shake off any cold weather blues and enjoy the island's invigorating sunshine. Aruba has the most sunny days anywhere in the Caribbean.
I promise you, this trip is going to be at least 10 times better than the trip to Aaron's Hampton's home on Real Housewives of New York, but that doesn't take much. I mean, it doesn't even compare. Aruba is gorgeous.
Please always choose Aruba over Aaron's home. We know you can't stay on vacation forever, but a trip to Aruba, honestly, it just never ends because the happiness and relaxation you feel in your bones, it just stays with you.
Book your trip today at Aruba.com.
Hi, listeners. This episode is brought to you in part by Echo.Kids. Echo.Kids is a cute smart speaker with Alexa made just for kids. Echo.Kids can help foster your children's independence by allowing them to learn and explore. Kids can express their unique personalities by customizing their device with fun greetings, jokes, and character-inspired songs. Plus, with features like math help and trivia quizzes, your kid will always be learning. You can have peace of mind knowing Echo.Kids automatically gives kid-friendly answers and filters out explicit music. Purchase of an Echo.Kids comes with 1 year of Amazon Kids Plus, a digital subscription designed for kids age 3 to 12 to learn, grow, and explore. Shop the device this holiday season at amazon.com/EchoKids.
When there's so much that happens, watch what happens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that happens? Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. This is part 2 of the recap. If you missed part 1, go check out your podcast feed. It's right there. And without further ado, let's get right back into the recap.
So then she's like, we all know Lisa will never take accountability for the role that she played in the rumors about Prism and Alibaba. So the fact that she was able to apologize to my husband is enough for me to put a button on that and be done with the Alibaba thing. I'm going to put a button.
Hello, ma'am. We found a Prism button in the trash can at our hotel in Milwaukee. Did this belong to you? Oh my God, she threw away the button.
Well, that was so nice, and it was nice to be seen. It was nice to be sitting here in the audience for such a touching moment. Sean, maybe you should try, because I appreciated the conversation that we had, and I'm sorry that everything this in the flashback, we see her saying, I'm sorry everything that unfolded that way last year, but I did not start nor spread any of these rumors. And it was hurtful to me, in all honesty, when you used my son and said that I was playing him as a pawn to deflect from something I didn't even do to begin with. He's a toddler and just learned to eat mashed carrots. How dare you?
Well, to me, it did look like you corroborated and had something to do with it, if not perpetuated. Look, I used corroborated and perpetuated in the same sentence. I'm winning.
Sean has a gripe. I think that I don't like Sean being like, I hate you, Meredith. Like, Sean's acting like a little
was in this episode. I don't like it. But I do think that Sean has a gripe here. I mean, obviously that was so low what they did last year. It was being like, we heard your husband was banging other men. But that was Monica who did that. Now, did Meredith kind of cheer her on? Sure. So I can get why he's mad. But I don't know. I'm still on Meredith's side, even though I think she's wrong.
Well, Meredith does the whole. One of Meredith's like signature moves is that she says something big like, "You want to go to the real husband? Or we can talk about the husband. You don't know what I've heard. I've heard things." And then like she insinuates that she's sitting on top of a nuclear bomb, but she's not going to set it off. So then when someone else sets it off, usually Whitney, because she usually falls into the trap, then it somehow the stink comes back to Meredith because it seems like she maybe had this information and sent it through Whitney. And then Meredith on the reunions always has to say, "Oh, no, I'm just saying I had heard things. I heard he likes to go to Jamba Juice. That's it. And I don't know why I'm being persecuted when I've got a toddler at home." So that's what she's doing. I don't even know what my point is anymore.
She's always kind of part of it. I mean, she was kind of part of it, you know, but they all were. I mean, I don't think anybody really escapes from this one. And still for the husband to be going around like, oh, and using, and he didn't even technically say her son, like using her son, but saying like she's leveraging the LGBT community against me to make a point. But, you know, I don't know. I think that we're all wrong in that situation, but I'm still anti-Sean in this situation because I don't like husbands doing interviews and complaining about the housewives. Like, stay in your lane, you know?
He was understandably annoyed that there were rumors going around on the show that he was banging guys, and Meredith is like, "Look, I had nothing to do with it." His frustration, like when he said that she was leveraging, you know, Brooks being gay as part of the argument, I feel like that's like not a strong point to make in the first place. It's like, I guess he's saying that she's hiding behind the fact that her son is gay, so therefore she like cannot.
Well, she was like, kind of saying like, why would I do it?
With your blame.
I think she was saying like, why would I do that? I have a gay son, and I know what's difficult when rumors are going around about your son, because that was her storyline. Was that Jen Shaw was outing her son when her son wasn't ready to come out of the closet yet, and that was really uncool. So she's saying, I get the outing thing because I have a gay son. I would never out somebody else. So I think it was kind of valid of her to say that, because she does have a gay son. That was her storyline. Now that I say it, I just won her case for her in my court of law.
No, it is 100% valid for her to say it. And I think that maybe, I think what Sean was trying to say, because I have to say, sometimes the things that Sean says don't totally make sense. But I think what he was trying to say
either. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he's not great. You know, he's got
so
a good
cute.
body.
He was
got a good body. That might be
quiet. Just be quiet, you know?
Yeah, that's like where the emphasis in his life is. And so, like, I think that, like, maybe what he was saying is that she was getting out of jail for free because she was saying, "What? I would never do this. My son is gay." And then Meredith, though, at just the mere mention of Brooks, or the reference to Brooks, is like, "How could you mention my toddler?" So then, like, you know, so like Meredith is I do also feel like Meredith is definitely what is it, like, in for a penny, in for a pound, or whatever. Like, she's like, "Oh, I have a way. I'm gonna like really use this. Like, oh, how could you say this about the children have nothing to do with it?" And he's like, "Whoa." Because, you know what, the truth is that when Lisa said to Angie, like, "Oh, okay, fine, you're just going to hang up and like talk to Electra, considering how angry Meredith is about like Brooks being referenced, you would think that then she might also say something to Lisa about the fact that Lisa blatantly brought Electra into the situation on her terms. The point is this. Any housewife is always going to use their kids for an excuse to get mad at someone else.
Especially this season. It's the whole season. So Meredith is basically like, "Look, you know, we walked away from that conversation, but I apologized to you and I didn't even do anything. And you didn't apologize to me. And I don't like that. Like, I walked away. I was hurt. You said something about my toddler." And so he's like, "But here's the thing. One of my biggest pet peeves is when I walked away from that conversation, I thought we were good. So now we're not good. You just mentioned her name in the people you don't like game. Of course you're not good. Like, why are you acting like, oh, we're so good? You just brought up her name and that my wife doesn't like things. So why are you acting like that? You don't be so passive aggressive."
Exactly. And also, by the way, this point that you're making, Sean, is not an interesting or new point. Okay. Like it doesn't, that has nothing to do with what she is bringing to you. By the way, regardless of what you feel about whether Meredith is exploiting this or maybe exploiting is the wrong word, but she is definitely very, very upset over what seems to be just like a passing reference to Brooks. But that being said, she's bringing it and she's brought it to Sean twice now, actually quite calmly and maturely, believe it or not. And Sean is like, well, I thought we were good and now we're not good. Like, what, here I was all ready to rejoin the Meredith Marks Yas Queen Club. And now I find out I still have another page left in the application.
Well, they're all trying to leverage each other's husbands against each other, right? Like if one husband's going to be rude or if one husband's going to have to apologize, then every husband's going to have to apologize. And it's like a proxy war against Angie because Angie's being such a pain in the ass. You know what I mean? So she's like, okay, well, now we'll make your husband apologize. It's like, oh my God, please just leave the husbands alone because they're all bad at this. So Sean's like, listen, you need to prove to me what I said because I want to know what you say I said about Brooks because I didn't say it. And she's like, you said it in the press and I can pull it up for you if you like to. And she starts doing her like head, like I will pull it up in the press. He's like, okay. So then Whitney's like, yeah, just say it because we like proof, Meredith. We like proof here. She goes, well, the gist of it, and these are not your words, but you said I was using my son's sexuality to deflect. And so we hear the audio and Sean's on a podcast and he's like, well, she took the opportunity to leverage her son and things like that, knowing this didn't land quite the way they wanted it to. So
I don't think that's what she did, though. I don't think she was leveraging Brooks, by the way. So I think Sean is wrong on this one. I think we just talked about it. I think she said, look, I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this. And so Sean is like, Meredith, please, I didn't say anything about Brooks in the press, which is, I think, also true. I think Sean is right and also wrong at this exact same time on this.
So he's like, I didn't say anything about Brooks. Well, you said her son. And she's like, you did. And then Whitney's like, but then what did she say? What did he say, Meredith? Give the proof. And so Seth whips out his phone and he's like, Sean Trujillo accuses Meredith Marks of using her son Brooks after gay rumors. Proof, biatch.
Like,
and everybody's just like, whoa, because he's like, pointing his phone at Whitney. And she's like, did you just call me a biatch? And he's like, yeah, because you lied and said, you just said, show me the proof. So I showed you the proof. Like, not getting it. Because I think in his mind, saying biatch is not saying you bitch.
I think that
I guess is true. I mean, I said biatch at the beginning of this recap. So
I think his joke got away from him. I think his joke got away from him because when he was reading it like, okay, guys, well, this is silly. I'll read it. He was like, well, Sean Trujillo accuses Meredith Marks and biatch. It's like, whoa, wait. I thought we were in a jokey tone right now, Sean. I mean, Seth, but you suddenly got like, you got kind of nasty there. So everyone's like, whoa.
Well, even if he used the same tone and just said, suck it, or like, found it, eat your words, suckers, or something like that, it would have been okay. But I think it's the biatch because now it can be like, your husband called me a bitch.
Yeah.
I don't think he meant it that way. But even if you didn't mean it that way, you just said it. At least just say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to call you a biatch. I'm being a straight guy right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You know what? Seth is tired of his wife coming under fire with a bunch of lies. That is clickbait. What's the fucking comment? And Angie's like, no, a headline from a random blog proves nothing. Like she has way too much time on her hands and she's just looking for drama, which Greeks also actually did create.
I wish when she said that could be true, actually.
I was about to say that one. I was like, that one actually sounds like
I think that was. I think she's got that one.
Well, maybe Babylonia there was some drama. Whoever did Gilgamesh.
So, God damn it. I wish when she said if she's just looking for drama, they put in clips of last time they were in Palm Springs when Angie was trying to make a mark by fighting with Meredith and just chasing her around that bar. And every time Meredith turned away from her, and they were in like those crazy Marilyn Monroe wigs or whatever. And every time she turned away from her, she would just run around her to the other side and be like, and another thing. We are fighting. Meredith's like, we are not fighting. We are fighting. Just go chasing her around that bar. That shit was funny. So Sean's saying, you're taking it out of context. I didn't say that. And Meredith's like, whatever. So you're saying you never said it. And he's like, I already told you twice. And so she's like, I'm not being a victim. He's like, yes, you are. And so you're not going to apologize? No, I'm not going to. It's not about being sorry. I just don't remember doing this. And she's like, well, it was just a strange response. And he's like, well, let me tell you something. If I said something demeaning towards Brooks, I'll certainly apologize, but I haven't. And I've done none of it. And I'll stand on that and I'll double down on it. Still love you. Will you sign my poster?
Before you stand on it, here's a box. That way you can actually stand up on it.
I'm sorry. I don't even know why she fought you this long, because you were not tall enough to ride this ride.
I was not offended at you, Sean, until I realized you were trying to stand above Meredith in that moment. That's just sad. So Meredith is like, I mean, this isn't a real apology, but we're beating a dead horse. Lisa, do you want to make a horse joke? That's so mean. Why would you kill the horse? Anyway, Sean and Angie clearly don't see any wrongdoing, and they think that's fine to talk about someone else's child, toddler, baby boy that way. So noted. Thanks for letting me know. I'm moving on.
So time to change the subject. Angie's like, okay, we should change the subject. In other news, like, I love Todd. He's one of the funner ones at the table tonight. Ha ha, ha ha ha. Look at Todd. He is not having fun. Todd, let us hear about how Gwen is reconnecting with her grandparents. And Todd's like,
we're not going there, Missy. That's it. Turn this car around. You slap that horse on the ass and tell him to turn around before I have it turned into glue.
Angie stepping on that landmine by accident. Oh my God. Because we know when the housewives are stirring shit, and we know when Angie was like, oops, my bad. Because Angie is not going to try to stir shit up with Todd, because Todd's wealthy. She's like, Angie got a taste of a private plane just there. She's not going to mess that up, right? So she's like, oh, I am sorry. Greeks invented landmines, by the way.
So Bronwyn's like, well, that is not a happier topic, Ange. Okay, it's not happier. It's like, oh, sorry, I did not mean to. Bronwyn's like, go back to the fight. You guys keep laughing. Am I right? That was hilarious. Would Lisa maybe like to apologize? That would be fun, right?
Let's just roll that one back, Lava. So Bronwyn's like, yeah, let's just go back that fight. It's like, it's okay. It was a surprise when it came up with Lisa, and not all surprises are happy. What is a happy surprise would be an apology from Lisa. That would be a very happy, lovely surprise. And Todd's like, well, look, it was well intentioned. Like, if one of you guys had brought me a Werther's, that would be very well intentioned, but apparently no one's doing that right now. So let me just rumble into my arms right now.
Oh, Lisa's being really great. She went and talked to them, and she's in a hard position, being friends with me, being friends with them. And we're our feeling is that they have not been involved in our child's life since she was born. So I was like, well, it's not our feelings, it's a fact.
Well, that's fair. And Lisa didn't mean to step on a minefield. She didn't. I'm the one that showed her the picture, and it was an accidental coincidence that came up, which is funny because it would be kind of an accidental coincidence if Lisa would apologize right now, but she's not going to do. So, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Todd's like, we're done here. It's not a field we're walking into. This ain't going to happen. This is over. This is like the Carter presidency. Done.
And she's like, well, when Gwen's like, done. So then it's awkward. And
he just, shuts her down, and he's an asshole. He's a grumpy asshole at this point. And so everybody's like cringing. And Bronwyn's like, wow, I was worried that the ladies were going to embarrass me, and it ended up being Todd. And I do love him, but there's a dynamic around anger and frustration that Todd and I handle very differently. And he has a very specific stopping point, and there's just no going past that stopping point. So.
And he's like, it's just going to piss me off. So let's just stay away from it. I'm not going to have this discussion at a dinner table to celebrate our anniversary. It's a personal issue for Gwen and Bronwyn. And me as a supporter of both of them, it's no one's business to discuss at a dinner table. Frankly, it wasn't Lisa's business to bring it up to begin with.
But she didn't. Bronwyn did. Lisa could have just said, I know them. They made like the mutual decision to bring it onto the camera because no one had to. All of this happened off of the camera. So I don't know if it's really fair. I mean, look, I know Lisa's an asshole, and I think it's funny that people are calling her out, but Jesus, they're like jumping on her for every little thing. She did not bring this on camera. Your wife did. So
the true WASPy The true waspy way to handle it would have been to say, yes, we are going to support Gwen on her journey, but we're not going to talk about it on here because it's between her and her grandparents. And then it just
And
ends
she
there.
said, sorry, she didn't know. And you're the one blustering and going crazy about it and making this a huge deal and now insulting your wife. You look like a fucking idiot, dude. Just shut your mouth.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Oh man, the change over from summer to fall has been so lovely. I love fall clothes, and it's so nice getting an upgrade from my regular old dusty hoodie to something brand new and stylish from Quince.
I know, this is like layering season, and I am ready for a beautiful, beautiful sweater. Quince offers affordable, high-quality essentials for any wardrobe.
I just got the most adorable casual jacket, which I'm going to use more than anything else in my wardrobe from Quince. I mean, I look adorable in
You look adorbs.
I can't even oversell this. I look adorable in this thing.
You do. And I honestly, like, their fall sweaters, I'm loving the color palette they have for them. They're just, like, very subtle, like, a lot of stones and beiges. It's really my vibe for fall 2024.
Upgrade your wardrobe with pieces made to last with Quince. Go to quince.com/crappens for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/crappens to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/crappens.
Etsy knows these aren't the sounds of holiday gifting. Oh, or... okay. Thank you. Well, they're not the sounds you're hoping for. You want squeals of delight, like this. Ooh. And spontaneously written songs of joy. I am so happy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. To get those, make everyone on your list feel heard with gifts like personalized jewelry, custom artwork, vintage pieces, and home decor. For original gifts that say, I get you, Etsy has it.
Raise your hand if you want your nails to look perfect all the time. Me too. I'm Sarah Gibson-Tuttle from Olive & June, and this is exactly why we created the Mani system. We wanted to make it possible for everyone everywhere to give themselves a beautiful manicure at home. With our tools and our long-lasting polish, each manicure with our Mani system comes out to just $2. That's right, $2. No more $30, $40, $50 manis that you get at a salon and they take hours. Now you can paint your nails on your time and love them more than ever. And by the way, when people ask, who did your nails? Where did you get them done? You're going to proudly say, I did them myself. Get 20% off your first Mani system with code FRESHMANI20 at oliveandjune.com/freshmani20. That's code FRESHMANI20 for 20% off at oliveandjune.com/freshmani20.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids instantly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Sign up for Greenlight today at greenlight.com/Wondery. That's greenlight.com/Wondery.
So, Bronwin's like, yeah, no, Todd is very protective of Gwen and I. And so, he's protective. It's also after 8:30, so he's a little grumpier. So now it's the next morning, and everyone is heading to cars because they're going to go to Thermal first to watch some racing. And so they're all excited. And Whitney tells us, after dinner, I don't know if it was just pure exhaustion, but we ended up having a really good time. And then this is one of those Housewives phenomenons where they fight like crazy at dinner and then they all get drunk afterwards and have the best time ever. which has happened
Yeah.
with this group multiple times.
Yeah, this group is really like, okay, let's clock out, and then they go have fun together.
Yeah.
And Whitney especially is just like, okay, I won't start shit with anybody today. Let's just go have fun. Because most of the times our fighting is because Whitney's starting shit, you know? So it's like Whitney decides to take a break and they can all have a good time. But it's nice to watch. And so then Bronwyn, now it's race time to go to the race. And Bronwyn's like, wow, bringing the girls to a race would be amazing of us in the first place. But this is a VIP. I mean, this is crazy. We're so rich. We know a famous race car driver. The girls are going to get to meet the famous race car driver. Their lives are about to change. You're welcome, girls. You're welcome. Hopefully, around the track, we've paid somebody. I don't know if they're going to have time to paint it, but it's going to say, apologize to Bronwyn, Lisa. Just apologize to Bronwyn. That's really what I'm hoping to get out of this race.
Yeah. And then they meet this guy named Joseph, who's like a hot race car driver. So they're like, hi. And Seth is like, I gotta ask. Asking for a friend. Are you single? And Joseph's like, no, I'm married and I have a young daughter. And it's like, all right, well, I guess we'll have to tell Heather that she's out of luck. Biatch!
Okay, Seth, you gotta really just rein that in. I'm gonna work on that.
So they're like, wow, you're so hot. Lisa's like, you're gonna run. So Meredith is being cuddled during the race, Meredith is kind of being cuddled by Justin, and they're just like doing kind of an artist pose, like where she's like looking off into the distance, being very serious. And Whitney's like, why does Meredith always look pissed off? And Justin goes, that's just her resting face. And Justin goes, yeah, my ex-wife had that. Wow. So you cheated on her and left your family. That's a good excuse. Justin's really not coming off great this season.
No.
He's having a rough.
So then Bronwyn is she's like, wait, hold on one second. Sorry. Bronwyn's like, okay, Lisa, I think that like maybe we should have a talk and maybe I could elicit an apology from you. And by the way, so they're trying to settle this score, but the cars are so loud and these Indy cars are zooming by. This is actually the perfect time for Lisa to apologize, because that way she doesn't have to actually say it. She can just mouth it, and then afterwards she'll be like, no, I totally said it. Yeah, I apologize. It's, you just didn't hear it, but I apologize. So yeah.
And so Bronwyn's like, well, I can't. The cars are so loud. And she's like, well, I can't talk to you when there's cars here. Let's talk at the house. Okay. I just don't want to have a scene in front of everyone. So maybe when we get back to the house, you can make some time for me. We can chat. That sound okay? She does that like, you're going to go ahead and cut these extra leaves off today like you agreed to do last time and you forgot to do before you left, because I would hate to have to dock your pay. So you are going to take care of those front bushes? Okay. Don't forget, only use the green trash cans. Okay.
So now they go back to the house after this exciting excursion to thermal, and Angie and Seth are in the back. Angie and Sean are in the backyard, and Seth walks out and he's like, well, guys, just want to say goodbye. It was fun. Hope you have a good flight back home. Biatch! I was like, okay, Seth, that was really aggressive. Please work on that.
Well, I'm headed back to Ohio, the great Columbus, Ohio. 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. I am Greek.
And Seth,
We invented that. Greeks invented the Columbus rhyme, actually. We didn't understand it for so many centuries.
So Seth leaves, and Angie's like, wow, he was in a hurry to get to the airport. And Sean's like, well, I mean, that was interesting. Like last night when we were talking and he brought up like clickbait and then calling you guys biatches. And like calling you biatches, he means bitches.
Stop it, Sean. He's really connecting a lot of dots.
Yeah, Sean, fucking Detective Sean over there.
Well, the thing is, they were quiet today at the race, and I don't know if there is something else going on, ... He's like, you're right. You know what I think is going on? I think they didn't want to talk to each other. Okay, let's work on those connecting dots, Sean.
And Sean. So then Whitney comes over and Angie's like, yeah, we were just talking about when he said biatch. And Whitney's like, that was so unnecessary and rude and like uncalled.
Don't you mean uncalled for? What? So then Justin is like, yeah, when did men start getting involved in everything? I mean, you would have thought that we learned our lesson at Angie's. Oh, yeah, Seth wasn't at Angie's. Shocking. I was like, well, what was that all about?
This is because all the guys, I guess, were like, let's stay out of women's business. And Seth wasn't there for that meeting. So Whitney was like, didn't you already work this out? And then they brought it back again as another problem. That's exactly what you did at that dinner. Be quiet. Yeah. And so she's like, well, that's what I'm so sick of. Like you work it out. And then when you turn around, like you didn't work it out. Like it's still a problem. Like, Lisa, do you regret calling Justin fuck?
Like, how many times has Whitney been the person where like things have been like locked in and fine moving forward, and then she's like, but I'm still angry about it. My vagina has still been exploited. Like literally the exploit my vagina thing was like Heather had said, this is what it says. Are you okay with what it says? Yeah. 6 months later, you exploited my vagina. I mean, Whitney is the queen of this.
Such a hypocrite. So yeah, this guy is like asking for a review. No, I'm not going to give you a review. Stop texting me. Spamming me for reviews. You know what? I'm going to say, here's my review. Stop spamming me. Okay.
He's like, I don't know. Last time I thought when I finished the job, I thought that we were on good terms, and now you won't give me a review. This is what I hate. I find out afterwards we still have an issue.
So Whitney's like, yeah, she always has a problem with you and I. And Angie's like, yeah, I'm always extending the olive branch. I'm going to have to start slapping her with the olive branch. Ha ha, ha 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 ha. She is not taking the olive branch. It's like, do you want the olive branch or not? What if it's olive and a hummus? What if it's olive hummus? I'll throw in a Zorba I'm going to slap her with a Zorba.
So it's actually funny because she mentioned olive branch several times without actually making a joke about Greeks. I was like, this is your setup. It's like, hey, my wife likes to do reverse cowgirl. That's Greek. But it's like olives, nothing. Okay, sure. So now we have Meredith and Seth in the room, and Seth's like, so I gotta get out of here, honey. I delayed the flight, so are we cool? Like this traveling, is it okay? Like, well, it's a law, and I'm not loving it, but it's what you have to do. It's what you have to do.
Exactly. Well, I actually gotta fly in the Minneapolis. What?
Do you hear my chair squeaking a lot? I got a brand new chair. No. I feel like it's nothing but creaking. No. Okay.
Oh yeah, I hear it. Yeah, I hear it like that, but I think we talk so much that I don't hear it. I've got a creaky chair too. There's like no escaping it. I've tried so many chairs; they all creak. I'm just a big person who likes to tilt and swing and.
Well, it's just that when I do Meredith voice, I really throw my whole body into it. I'm like, wow, like I'm just doing everything on here, shaking my head, and I noticed that my chair like.
Yeah, you can get cricked up doing a little Meredith action. Happens to the best of us. So Angie's like, oh yeah, so now we're with Seth and Meredith. Yeah, and so he's like, well, I gotta fly to Minneapolis and then Columbus. Fix my collar. And she goes, oh God, well, he did decide to stay longer and he's leaving before me. Now he has to go to a horrible place, Minneapolis, and then this. It's a much longer trip, but blah, 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 blah. I don't care. None of this makes any sense to me. I don't understand the problem in their marriage. I don't get it.
She wants more Seth because if you remember season 1, he was always traveling, leaving her to raise a toddler by herself.
But you want to hear what I learned in a comment on Reddit? That Seth's job is to kind of go into companies and help them prepare for bankruptcy so that they can make as much profit as possible from the bankruptcy. And his most recent one was Big Lots. And that makes me really not like him because, like, where's Big Lots? It's gone now. And Seth had something to do with that, And at the end of the day, Seth can seem like he's fun, seem like he's nice, maybe a little creepy, But, overall decent person. But you took big lots from me, Seth. And I don't know if we're okay, frankly.
He took big lots from all of us. We used to have quite a big lot, and now we have a small lot, Seth, so thanks a lot. Or not.
I can say that because I have a gay son. Wait a minute. Shut up, Sean. I'm not
You're
talking
leveraging the LGBTQ community against big lots. I'm sorry. Sean gets triggered by the phrase big lots.
God. So now Bronwin finally pulls Lisa aside, and Lisa's trying to be, as cheery and chipper as possible. And so they're laughing at first. Bronwin's like, how did I get so beat up on this trip? What did we do last night that I don't remember? So much fun. It must have been volleyball. Am I right? Well, I love it. So we've got to finish our talk. Okay. Now listen, if I didn't care about you, I would just put a wall up, right? Wouldn't I just put a wall up? But I'm not doing that because I care about you. So the wall's down. So go ahead and apologize. That's great. I'm waiting.
Yeah, okay. Fine. Because, I think me being friends with your friends has changed things between us. And I don't really know why. I'm like, well, actually, you could just end the sentence. You could just end it there. The first rule of friends is that when your friend meets your other friends, drama always happens. Like, that's like the first rule of friend groups, right? So Lisa's like, yeah, but like, how do you feel like it's changing things? Because like, can I tell you how I feel? Okay. So I had a conversation with Heather because I felt like Heather was like upset. She's like, okay, well, here's my thing. I don't know what Heather did other than come and talk to you, but I sat in my house in tears. Can we roll footage of me crying amongst the dog shit? Anyone, please? And we just see Bronwin being like,
So cut back, and Bronwyn's like, and I know that you're saying that Heather was emotional and Heather was explaining her side, but Heather also dropped some bombs in there. I'm two-faced, I'm conniving, I'm mean, and that's nasty, Lisa. That's nasty thing. Well, you were kind of two-faced when you were mocking Whitney openly when you barely knew her. You were. Okay. Even though you told Whitney you were doing it, you said it in a much nicer tone than you were openly laughing at her and stuff in the car with. It wasn't really cool for Heather to take that back either. But for you to pretend like you did nothing is a little silly. And she's like, and I'm conniving and I'm mean. And you excluded someone from the trip on their own goddamn show, which is kind of mean. So you're kind of.
I don't think that was mean. I don't think that was mean of Bronwyn to do that. I think Bronwyn was like, this woman's talking shit. Like, I had a shady moment, and Heather then went around and told everyone that I was being two-faced and mean and nasty. And like, that's fucked up. But you know what though? Like, maybe we can move forward. So I'm gonna talk to her and I'm gonna be like, sorry, I was messy with you with this shit, but also I want you to acknowledge that you were exaggerating like my intentions with my shady comment. And Heather's like, I don't have to sing for my supper. So I was like, fine, well then you don't get to come on the trip because I'm not gonna have someone on the trip who's actively talking shit about me. So I don't think it was mean. I just think it was just
I think it was mean. Although I think that Heather was wrong in the situation overall. I mean, I think Heather went way overboard, and Heather's doing it because it's just some newbie coming into the group and she's not going to take her shit basically, but she's losing this one badly. I think Bronwyn won that one. I think Bronwyn's just, her response is too big. It's too much. I think like I think she should have been like, hey Heather, we started off on the wrong foot. I'm having a trip. I'd like you to come. I hope we can start over. And that's it. But this like constant demanding an apology, because that's what it was then too. It was Bronwyn like, I need an apology from you for this specific thing. It's the same pattern with Lisa. I need an apology from you right now for this specific thing. And if you don't use the right code words to give me this apology, you're going to pay for it. And I just think that's the wrong way to go about it. It's like it just gives me the air of somebody who's constantly getting what they want and they're not getting it exactly the way they want. And so she's throwing a hissy fit and being like, fine, I'll come onto your show and not let you come on the cast trip then, bitch.
But to be fair, I mean, like, this is the show where everyone in the cast does that exact thing. Everyone is always demanding apologies all the time. And you also saw
not this intensely. It's
just Meredith like just did it. Meredith just did it. And Meredith does it all the time. And we love Meredith. I mean, I love Meredith. I think Bronwyn was
Bronwyn's no Meredith. They're all saying
that's fair.
She doesn't have that yet. She just got here.
I don't think what Bronwyn did is any meaner than anything that Heather did. I think what Heather did was meaner. And I don't know. I don't think what Bronwyn did was mean. I think that she basically was like, why would I spend money on this person who is actually talking shit about me and won't even like apologize the way I apologize because I was messy, but she won't apologize because she was being messy, and that's fucked up. So why would I invite her to my thing?
Okay, so then Bronwyn's like, well, so Lisa's like, well, I get why you feel that way. What I'm trying to tell you, and she's like, well, wherever it came from, I just feel like either you don't want to say to Heather in that moment, like, I don't know that Bronwyn's never been that way, but or frankly, if you don't say that, you do believe that I'm two-faced. And so she, repeats the whole thing, like why she's mad at Lisa. And then Lisa's like, well, I felt like I was in the hard place because I'm like in some situations, like it was confusing. And she's like, oh, wow, Lisa. And she goes, okay, now you're not going to listen to me. She goes, oh, well, I mean, I'm taking that weird, Lisa. I'm taking that weird what you just said. Why are you so mad?
I will say that I do think that Bronwyn is taking Lisa's stance a little bit extremely, because Bronwyn's basically like, the fact that she did not stand up for me means that she herself thinks I'm two-faced. And I'm like, well, I don't think it means that necessarily. I think she may just be like, I like both of you, and this is an awkward position for me to be in. So Lisa's like, listen, you have to listen to me. I feel like it was a confusing thing, and that's why it was like interpreted as like two-faced for Heather. And I feel like that like perceived in that way because of like your way of communicating and her way of communicating 100%. Am I out of jail yet? Do I get like another gift? Come on. And Bronwyn's like,
but you know what those words say to me? Right now, I'm in a place with Heather where I'm more concerned about Heather's feelings than your feelings, and that's fine. You guys are in that place. And she's like, no, that's not. And she goes, well, I don't need you to be worried about my feelings, but I'm trying to tell them to you that I was crying that day, and I'm about on the verge of tears right now because I think you and I are in a place where you just can't say you're not two-faced.
and
Lisa's like, oh God.
Lisa's like, oh God. And she's like, but your experience with me is not that I'm two-faced. That's kind of wild that you can't even agree to that. And Lisa's like, oh, I didn't say I would agree to it. It is kind of funny because Bronwyn has Lisa like sort of like, Lisa does not know which way to go in this. You know? And
Bronwyn's making up rules on what things mean. Like, if you don't fight with Heather, then you're agreeing with Heather that I'm two-faced. And she's like, but I never said you were two-faced. That's not what it is. She goes, yes, the argument is you're calling me two-faced now. And it's like, well, what are you even talking about? She's like, see, you can't even deny it. It's like, what are you even talking about? Why are you so mad? You're just making up random rules to an argument and then getting mad when people don't follow them.
But then it actually turns out Bronwyn's actually correct, because Lisa says, it's hard for me to answer that question because she's telling us, because I do think you are two-faced sometimes. So it's like, wait, Bronwyn sussed it out. And she's like, and I just feel like I can't trust you 100%. And like, I hate that I'm in a position like, oh my God, get me out of this pool.
Yeah. And so Lisa's like, well, okay, it was so shitty that she came to your house. This is how I feel. And that she left and you were crying. And I felt badly that you were upset. She goes, okay, thank you, Lisa. Just like, the bottom line is, I do think there's a huge misunderstanding, and 100%. And she goes, oh, no. End it at the, I feel badly for you. Don't go back to the misunderstanding. No more, Lisa. We don't baby Heather's feelings when she's not here. I will baby Heather's feelings myself when she and I work it out, Lisa.
I just want to be a good friend to both of you. And Bronwyn's like, and I appreciate that, but it's got to feel a little bit more balanced. She's like, okay. And I feel like I'm being needy with you. And I'm like it's like I'm begging you to feel for me. And she's like, no. The bottom line is, I'm here because I wanted to be here with you. Can I hug you? Can I touch with both my arms? Because the thing is this, you guys are really rich, and I'm like really excited to go back on that private jet on the way back, right? Because we were definitely taking a private jet back to Salt Lake City, right? Right.
So she's like, can I hug you? Even though I know you hate hugs. And she goes, oh my God, I don't hate hugs. Everyone's acting like I'm a terrorist. You're terrible. I'm
terrorists are like,
right
wait a second.
This is an emotional terrorist. I cannot wait to see her bloom, because I have a feeling she's going to get 20 times as bad. Because you know what I've noticed on these shows over all these years, and this is one thing that's held true. Nobody gets more chill. Like, maybe 98% of people do not get more chill. Yeah. They only become more intense. The only people I could say maybe that have gotten more chill over the years, well, I guess there are some, right? There's like Luann. She's totally different. Anyway, we don't have to go through a history lesson, but for the most part, people really go nuts on this show, on these shows.
I do predict. I mean, I think Bronwyn is a fantastic fantastic casting, and I think I really love her, but I do
think she's
suspect
good
she may
casting, too.
have like a Leah what's her face arc, where great first season, swan dive second season on Roni, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I overall, she's poking at my nerves for sure, and she's making me like annoyed. But I like that, I like that about these shows,
and I
do think she's good casting overall. Yeah,
and I see where she's going to fall apart. Like everything that you don't like about her, I see how that is going to be. Those are going to be issues that are not going to go away, and I think you will be ultimately vindicated because I see her like all those things are. But for right now, she's still in the pocket for me. Like I was like, she's still on the good side for me.
Okay, so now it's time to pack and go home. And Bronwin's packing with Todd. She's like, honey, do you have your breathing machine? Oh, God, Todd, what would you do without me? And he just doesn't answer her. She goes, I noticed you're not responding. So, and he just ignores her. And the producer's like, so, Todd, would you ever do this again? He's like, no, I won't ever do this again. Jesus Christ.
So they're all gathering out front, group photo and everything, and then they're just like, okay, fun, okay, so how are we gonna get home? So everyone's like looking at their flights, and everyone's checking that stuff out, and just like milling about. Nothing could go wrong, everything's lovely. And she's looking and she's like, let's see, Sean's sitting in 19A, and then Lisa's like, and he's just like, what's wrong? Like, where are you sitting? She goes, I don't know. Oh my God. Oh my God, what's happening? The world is swallowing me up right now. I don't carry coach. I don't fly coach. No one wants to be the last one to get off the plane. Oh my God, I'm sitting coach. Oh my God.
She says, oh my God, I gotta go. I gotta go to the airport so I can fix my ticket. And Angie's like, you're not going to be able to fix your ticket. It's a small plane. You're never going to get to first class. At this point, I am Greek. And Angie's like, whatever, It's like, it's okay. She says, I'm on 19A, Angie. Hopefully I'm sitting by you. And Bronwin's like, no, she said, Angie says,
Bronwin's like, guys, honestly, it's a small plane. There were only 4 seats in first class. So I put Todd and I's skanky asses up there, and I put you guys next to your husbands in the best seats that there were. It's like a 65-minute flight. Lisa goes, with none of the accoutrements. Oh! And by the way, first class on those small planes, you just get like an orange juice at takeoff. Like, that's it. It's like slightly wider seats. It's really not that big of a difference. But Lisa's...
Yeah, those are a ripoff on those planes anyway.
Yeah, she's like, we're not going to be basic. Do you guys want to do that? Oh, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do this. So she is losing her mind. She's looking at ways to like change her flight. She's like, oh my God, I'm in 17C. Look, I'm in 17C. I can't remember the last time I flew in the back of a plane. I am literally in 17C.
So Lisa's like, oh my God, you know what? I want to get home to Henry, but I like hate this. Hate this, John. It's so uncomfortable. He's like, so you want to make it longer and get home later just so you can sit in a bigger seat? Yeah, I know you don't. But listen, I haven't flown coach since I was in college. We'll go on a flight and we'll see if there's any first class ones available. It's like, I can't do it.
The larger context of this is that there was a little scene earlier when they're packing, and she's like, oh my God, I cannot wait to get home and just see Henry. I don't want to do anything but see Henry. I just miss our little boy. I hope he's doing well. God, I want to get home to Henry. And now she's like, all right, how about this? We route through Miami and then back to Salt Lake City as long as it's all first class.
It's so funny. So he's like, okay, so everything's sold out, Lisa. She's like, oh my God, you're kidding. He goes, just close your eyes and imagine you're in first class. And she goes, and you think she's thinking of that? And she goes, all right, well, worst case, we fly to LA and then we fly back to see Henry.
I mean,
it's not like there's an issue. She goes, at least there's not an issue with Henry.
He's just playing video games anyway.
He's just stuck at home with no friends because they're all at someone else's birthday party.
I would like never normally travel like that. Like everything else amazing. I would never, ever fly coach.
And this is why no matter what, no matter how right everyone is going anti-Lisa in this entire episode, I don't care if they're even right. She is so fucking funny to me that I will always be on her side. That shit's hilarious.
She is, no, I mean, Lisa.
She means it.
Magnificent. Lisa, Meredith, I mean, this whole cast. anytime I'm they're just all great. Every single one. It's just a perfect cast. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, regardless of like where we stand on any side of any of our stupid arguments about these people, I really love everyone on this cast. It is so good, and they just crack me up.
All right, it's a good show. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for being here. We will be back tomorrow, probably enraged because it is Real Housewives of Orange County Day. So we'll be here for that. Yeah, check that out. And thanks for being here for this special 2-part recap. These are always super fun to do. And we'll see you Monday night for a live crappy hour at 5:30 Pacific time with Kempire. Bye. Go subscribe, check him out while you can. Get a little taste before we get to the show. And we will talk to you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
We're fanning out for Bethany Fannin.
Put your hands together for Carly Clapp.
Dana C. Dana Do.
Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's our favorite streamer, Caroline Peacock.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
Bringing the funk, it's Leslie Plunkett.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
Let's get feely with Maggie Sheely.
Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
Cast a Spell with Shannon Spellman.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
If you like Watch What Crappens, you can listen ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In a quiet suburb, a community is shattered by the death of a beloved wife and mother. But this tragic loss of life quickly turns into something even darker. Her husband had tried to hire a hitman on the dark web to kill her. And she wasn't the only target. Because buried in the depths of the internet is the kill list, a cache of chilling documents containing names, photos, addresses, and specific instructions for people's murders. This podcast is the true story of how I ended up in a race against time to warn those whose lives were in danger. And it turns out, convincing a total stranger someone wants them dead is not easy. Follow Kill List on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Kill List and more Exhibit C true crime shows like Morbid, early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus. Check out Exhibit C in the Wondery app for all your true crime listening.
Have you ever wondered who created that bottle of sriracha that's living in your fridge? Or why nearly every house in America has at least one game of Monopoly? Introducing The Best Idea Yet, a brand new podcast from Wondery and T-Boy about the surprising origin stories of the products you're obsessed with and the bold risk takers who brought them to life. Like, did you know that Super Mario, the best-selling video game character of all time, only exists because Nintendo couldn't get the rights to Popeye? Or Jack, that the idea for the McDonald's Happy Meal first came from a mom in Guatemala? From Pez dispensers to Levi's 501s to Air Jordans. Discover the surprising stories of the most viral products. Plus, we guarantee that after listening, you're going to dominate your next dinner party. So follow The Best Idea Yet on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to The Best Idea Yet early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus. It's just the best idea yet.